Spanish is like do a quick chazara. I have a Gemara there. We do a quick chazara from last week. Look at the Gemara, learning about Hatmana. So we look at the sources. So there's a Gemara on Lamed Dalet on the base. Dalet on the base. Lamed Dalet on the Aleph on the bottom. Lamed Dalet on the Aleph on the bottom. The two dots. Yeah, B'Amar Rabba. Why do we say that you can't do Hatmana in something which is not Mesiv Hevel, something which doesn't add heat? Hatmana means to cover it. What's the reason for that? Well, when can't you do it? Starting from nighttime, before that you're allowed to do it.
Before you're allowed to, sure.
Yeah. Zeta, the reason is Zeta Shem Yartiach. Maybe you're going to be Martiach, maybe you're going to make pat, you're going to heat up the pot. So Rashi explains what's Pshat. So Rashi says, Amar Rava, Mipnei Ma'amra, Intayim Davashin and Mesiv Hevel. Again, Semer or Mukhir, what are things which are not Mesiv Hevel? For example, Semer is cotton, or Mukhir is like...
Semer is wool.
Wool, I mean. Mukhir is like... Mukhir is like cotton.
Mukhir is cotton.
Yeah. Meshach HaSheikha, he says, in the Mishnah later on, if you want, we can take a peek also while we're at it. The Mishnah, Perek, one hand on one side, Zayin on base. So it says, the Metain, the whole Perek is called the Metain.
Right.
The Metain, the main Taimnim. Right? Ain't Taimnim, there's all these different things, right? These are things which are Mesiv Hevel.
Right.
Which that you cannot be Taimin in also on Erev Shabbos. Like it actually says over there, someone's coming to take away a Kedera from the top of a Kedera, and to hide it in something else. You can't be tamed in something which adds heat, and something which insulates, keeps the same from Mira Mesiv Aser. The Gemara is asking, the Mishnah is asking which ones are Mesiv Hevel and are Aser.
Not just keeping it warm?
They're Mesiv, they add more. So that's what the Mishnah goes through a bunch of things.
In other words, it's like you're cooking. It's not the only time when you're cooking because you're Mesiv Hevel, so it's there.
So what's the reason? Because you might come to the Shem Yartiach. So that back in our Rashi over here, Meshach HaSheikha, because the name of Maslisim Atayim Masachamim. So it's time of the Savach HaSheikha. The reason is because it's Savach HaSheikha. Vadech HaSheikha ain't Taimim. Because Bemis in the Mishnah, let's start in the Mishnah, in the top of the page, there's the Mishnah, yeah? So the Mishnah says, Gimel Dvarim, so in like 3 lines down, it says Savach HaSheikha, Savach Keinech HaSheikha, which means starting from Shkia. But the end of the Mishnah, the last words, is V'teinim Zechamim. You could do Hatmana, which means as long as it's Shkia and Tzultzei, you're also allowed to do Hatmana. Davar She'eini Mesiv Hevel, but only until Tzei. So once it comes Tzei, you're not allowed to be Teimin, and even something which is not Mesiv Hevel, you're not allowed to be Teimin. So,
but not because you're doing something, it's just
Gzeda. It's only Gzeda. So Gzeda. So that's what Rashi says. It's the Teimin Mes Achamin. Teimin Tzavach HaSheikha. Avadech HaSheikha in Teimin. But if it's Vadech HaSheikha, you're not allowed. So we see from the Mishnah that you're not allowed to do a Davar She'eini Mesiv Hevel. Stam Hatmana Davar She'eini Mesiv Hevel. Stam Hatmana is just doing a little chazara from last. Stam Hatmana Davar She'eini Mesiv Hevel. Stam Hatmana is something which is not Mesiv Hevel. The Davar that Mesiv Hevel, if it's Beid Yom also. Something which is Mesiv Hevel, even in Beid Yom it's also. Because now in Perek Dalet, ain't Tevin Lebegat, it's like we just saw that Mishnah over there. But what's the Gzeda? Gzeda Shem Yimatzak Deirasa Shem Stanana. You might find the Gzeda that became cool. Because she used a lot of when you want to be matminit. So you find it cool. You're trying to hide it in the trying to be matminit. You want to make it warm, and you find it cold now. So you're gonna go and.
But this is you find it cold when on Shabbos or not on Shabbos.
This is talking about on Shabbos. Because Erev Shabbos you're allowed to put it in Davar She'eini Mesiv Hevel.
Sure. So
it's only talking about on Shabbos.
There that I find it cold on Shabbos and going to Mivasha. So I should zero everything, not after this.
Why after that time on Shabbos?
Right.
The Gemara is going to ask that question. So what's he going to do? He's going to heat it up and he's going to the bishul. The Gemara continues. This we said last time about the reasons behind it. So he says. Amrle Abaye told Rabbi, Yihachi ben Hashmasha nam nigzer. Ben Hashmasha we should also be gezer.
That you shouldn't do Hatmana.
Because you might come to Martiach.
Yeah.
Says Amrle, Stam Kedes Ritkasim, Stam Kedes Sakrashi. Yihachi ben Hashmasha nam nigzer. The Shvus Mal, you see, it's a proper Shvus. It's Gzeira Chacham made. So why? So starting from Shkia should already be a problem. So the Ha'ika Gzeres Isra Deraisa, because you might come to do a Bishul. So the problem that you might come to do a Deraisa. The Tani, the Mastisa Misl, the Gazal Shvus Ben Hashmash, the Tani Masim Zavadi. Our Mishnah holds that you gazer on any Shvus, anything which is the Rabbanon, any Gzere the Rabbanon, which is the proper Shvus. Ben Hashmashas. So the Gemara answers the thing. When you take it off the fire, right before nighttime, it was just on the fire. It's hot. It's not going to be cold at that time. Usually
it's hot.
You're just taking off the fire now. Therefore, they make a gzeira by ben hashmashas until it comes seisek echavim. Then we say you can't be playing in a davar she'eni meisav, even in davar she'eni meisav havel. What about davar which is meisav havel? V'amar Rava, the Gemara continues. V'amar Rava, v'nei ma omra in teim davar on meisav havel. Why can't you be teim davar on meisav havel? It's not over here. This is
okay. I'm listening.
Ain't teim davar on meisav havel. Filu meidiyim. Even meidiyim, you can't. Even while it's a lot of Shabbos, you can't be teim davar which is meisav havel. The reason is because you might come to be payment in remetz which has gechelas. What's this? Because now like where do we see that as such a problem? Like we say later on in the Mishnah which we just looked at, because you're not going to do it already comes in nighttime. So the Gzeri is because you might come to hide it in remetz. What is remetz? Ether mortar v'gechalim is ashes mixed with coals. Effect the Gemara. So let him be matmin. What's the big deal? So let him hide it in. Let him be matmin
in the fire.
In the remetz. What's the problem?
Remetz is the fire.
And ash mixed with coals. He says the problem is because you might come
to make the fire higher.
Moving around the coals in order to make the fire higher. So Rashi says, "Gzeira shemichat v'chalim mechashekashecha, anaitim shabala v'ashlag deiro shalibishla kol tzarka." You're going to come to cook the pot which wasn't totally cooked. V'gazru after bishla kol tzarka. Okay, whatever. Let's not go into that. The rest of Rashi. Fine. So this is basically the reason. So what do we have over here? The build-up is we have Erev Shabbos. You're not allowed to be matmin and davar ha'meisav havel.
Right.
And the reason is because if we're going to allow you to be matmin and davar ha'meisav havel, so you might come and think, oh, I'm allowed to put it in something which adds heat, so maybe I could put it also in something which, like in remetz which has coals mixed with ash, and then I might come and might move around the ashes and might cause bishul. That's the reason why even meidiyim you're not allowed to do, you're not allowed to be matmin and davar ha'meisav havel. But davar, which is not meisav havel, that you're allowed to be matmin
before,
until seisek echavim, all the way up to seisek echavim. After seisek echavim, you're not allowed to be matmin also in davar she'eni meisav havel. The reason is because you might come to put it on the fire. You might find it cold. You might put it on the fire. You might cook it.
There's no problem ben hashmashas.
Oh, why not ben hashmashas? The reason is because usually it's the pots are hot then, and therefore there's no. I didn't know you would be here this week. Well, last week you wouldn't be here. I was going to prepare the whole thing because I looked into your
next week.
Next week. Next week you're not here.
Watch, you won't be.
To just so.
But I looked into it and it's very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so basically that's the background of what we're going to know. It just basically the point is that it doesn't work. It doesn't work according to the Mechaber's Shita. Basically, he discussed last week. Maybe we'll discuss next week. I'm saying I don't want to get into it right now. I compared something else. He discussed how his Zayda was the sheikh by the Ben Ish Chai.
Right.
And he said that he had he would put on top of a blech. He would have the fire on, put a blech, and on top of that have the cholent. What's it called?
Amir.
No.
Tibit.
Tibit, that's
and on top of the tibit, he would cover it with towels.
Oh, right.
So the chura,
Which
makes it have it's a fire on them. So there's so in this specific case, it's not for other cases.
And he did that before Shkia.
Yeah, before Shkia.
Good, before Shkia.
But it's still a problem, right? Maybe there'll be another shoot and we discuss also, and we'll discuss all the prat and all the details about it. But in this specific case, and we'll learn about other cases, so there is a whole discussions about it. The Seisa Shulchan Avraham now talks about that, and Yabia Eimer, the Rabbi he has a tshuva about it. According to the way the Mechaber really holds, it's Taka Asim. But the Minig was different. The Minig was relying on the more Kuladik shittas, on the more lenient shittas. So, if that's the Minig, that's the Minig. Right. So it's interesting. So that's why when you said it, I couldn't understand how it's possible. But he said that was the Minig.
But few places in Iraq use it, few not. It depends.
Right. So it says the source where they found where it mentions that. I think Marim ibn Khavir even think over there it brings them. No, maybe no. The Aimer brings them. Most people follow or say they do. They follow this Minig, but there are those who don't. Those who don't, they can't. But whoever has the Messiah. So
I tell you one thing now, but some people hold it, some not. When my daughter born, and we were thinking to call her by my mother's name, because by the Sfaradim, for us it's very good. My father, Alav Shalom, is Avraham, I'm Sasson, my son is Avraham, his son is Sasson. It's 8 generations. All 3 generations live for long life. The 3 generations, father, son, and grandson, live 90, 100, I don't know. So for us, it's very strong. So my daughter, we were thinking to call her Neima, my mother. So I'm going to shul. In the morning, I have a Pukku shul on Avenue I and East 4, yeah. I was living right there, the park. In the morning, I want to go in the morning. So I'm coming home, and I said, Mom, I'm going to get Aliyah. I'm going to call your name. She said, in our minhag, not to call by the line. I know what to do. I went to my wife, I said, what can I do? She said, oh, she's our Neshama. Call her Neshama. That's her name, Neshama.
Wow.
But you see, that I was sure that my father would love it. My father, we call him, his name was good. My mother, no.
Yeah.
It's a minhag of the
Minhag, yeah.
Also, we said
Ashkenazim בכלל טוב. Ashkenazim בכלל טוב. Only if they were ready in old
No,
that's right. That's not meaning.
That's the whole discussion. That's one of the discussions.
if Magevit is Moise Fevel or not, or it was the
I
blanket.
don't want to get into now.
Or it's the blanket.
I don't want to get into
a small blanket that she used for 100 years.
I don't want to get into.
Fine, but the blanket is different than Magevit.
No, because
it's cooler.
No, because it's Moise Fevel.
No, but the point is, I want to make another share. I want to spend the whole time explaining this whole minig. Maybe you could on the YouTube. Maybe you could watch it afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna put it online. You could watch it. They put it on.
Yeah.
So they basically if something which is even though on top it's not Mesiv Hevel,
Right.
but there's the flame.
Oh,
They have a blast. They have a blast.
It makes that they themselves, that the clothing itself adds
They
heat.
heat, and then the moist heat together.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Okay, so
But they
that's
have a
another
blast
discussion.
no.
They have the
but
flame, the blare,
The flame.
pot, and then they have
Okay,
the
fine. Let's we'll push it off now. Okay, let's get to what we want to discuss today. This is let me shoot it here. Okay, so today we want to discuss a Gemara. The Gemara is Manalef and Manalef. Gemara. It's Tana Rabban. It's a Braisa. It's towards the bottom of the page after 2 dots. Tana Rabban. Yeah, Afal Pi.
Oh, I see.
Okay, Tana Rabbanon. Tana Rabbanon, the Rabbanon thought, Afal Pi Shalmru. Although they said, we just learned, Ein Teina Filo B'Davar Shein Mesiv Hevel, Meshach HaShecha, that you cannot do Hatmana even in something which is not Mesiv Hevel, starting from Seis HaKechavim, starting from nighttime. Right? If it's Ben Hashmash Shkia, then you could, right? Shachshecha means over here, Seis HaKechavim. Okay? So even though we said you're not allowed to do that, now we're talking about on Shabbos, right? On Shabbos, let's say Erev Shabbos, you already did Hatmana on something which not makes sense. Practically, in our case, a chicken soup pot, which you covered with towels. You want to keep it hot. Now it's already nighttime. Okay? So he says, the Braisa says, if you want to add more towels, let's say you feel there wasn't enough towels on it, you want to add more covering on it, you're allowed to add more covering to it.
You're not moist hevel, you're just holding the heat.
Not with things which add hevel, but you're adding more towels of things which are not moist hevel. You're containing more of the heat.
That's it. You're holding the heat, you're not moistening.
You're making it more seal-proof.
Right. You're holding the heat, but you don't create a new heat.
Yeah. Case of the ways, what do you, how does he do it? So the B'Shim Galil says, Neitulas Sadinim, you take the sheets off, which means he's saying even more than what we said before. He says you can even take off the sheets which were on it before, which you covered the pot before, and you can put it in its place like coats and things which are even heavier than the other ones. So you're doing even more than just adding more. You can actually take off and put more.
Why would you want to take off the one that's there?
Maybe you want to use it for something. Let's say you want to use the sheets for something. Let's say a practical case. Let's say you're going to want a towel. You want to wash the till Sedayim.
You need one of the towels.
And you want one of the towels. So you take a towel and you switch it with something else. So he said you're allowed to do that. So
if you have two pots and two towels, you're allowed to take this towel and put it in the other one?
You're saying because it's hot, it's warm?
It's warm.
I think so.
What about all this?
You're not moistening hevel, you're not doing nothing.
But the black, silent, they're putting a pot on the black, that's already moist hevel.
You're just holding the heat.
Now, there's all discussion about something which became warmed up by something else. If that's okay.
Putting it on the black, on top of the fire, it's also, it gets hotter. So why should that be any different than putting it to something
Keep
else?
it warm when you put something.
You're saying it's
on top.
covered? It's covered on top of the pot, or you're just saying actually?
No, just putting the whole pot on the black, on the fire, that's moist.
That's enough.
Oh. It isn't. Okay, so.
I mean, that alone is moist, so what's wrong with putting something else?
No problem. 1 second. I'm saying that's the whole discussion. So let's finish the Brais, then I'll get back to that question. Case of the Eight said of Shim Galil says, you take away the sheets and you put over the coats. Now the big chiddush over here is the whole art is you can't do Hatmana on Shabbos. You can't do Hatchila on Shabbos Hatmana. So over here you're taking off what's covering it and you're sort of starting anew. That
could be a problem.
So you're like, so he said you're still allowed to do it. Big chiddush. Why are you allowed to do it? Because since when Shabbos came in and Seisek Chavim passed, it was covered. So now it's just like you're recovering it. You're covering it. It was always covered, and now you're just continuing what was there before.
If you took off the cover and put it back on.
That's what I'm saying. You're allowed to take it off and put it back on, because it's not like you're starting covering it now that you're not allowed to do it. Over here, you're just continuing from the covering which was there before.
Only the cover, but you cannot take the pot, put it on the side, put it back. It's already.
Taking the pot out is a discussion.
Losing.
Is a different discussion. The discussion is being connected to what he says. So let's wait 1 sec to discuss that. Fine. Or you take off the glufkerin, the coats, and you can put on the sheets and make it lighter. Fine. Okay, we can stop over here for now. Okay. Let's just finish up this halacha, then we'll get back to these questions. So we want to.
The Hilchos over here, the second part. What's
the chiddush you're saying?
No, that's even more, because you're taking something warm and you put something light, right?
So you diminish from the heat.
So that's less. That should be less of a chiddush.
No, so I'll be scared, like the reason the Gemara says before, that now that it's cold, I'm going to go and start be scared that it's cold, like before. I say when something is cold, you scare more that maybe I'll find out that warm up and sand. You're not going to wash it, but when you make something cold, I should be scared that you're going to cook. Nevertheless, I'm sure nobody says you're allowed to. In other words, not cautious that you're going to go cook.
Yeah.
And make it.
Yeah. So let's look in the turn the side of the page. Now you have to use this. This is the other side is the Alter Rebbe. Alter Rebbe says like this: Taman mibeid yom v'davar she'ini meisav havel. If you were tamen from beid yom instead of Shabbos and something which is not the meisav havel, miniskala mibeid yom and was niskala, which means it became uncovered by itself. Still before Shabbos. Bein sheniskala me'alav, whether it came by itself, it was uncovered. Bein shekilo biyadayim, or even if you took it off with your own hands, you took it off, you uncovered it. Even if you had in mind to cover it, before Shabbos, before or on Shabbos, so if you forget, that's it. You cannot cover it again by tzeisa kechava. Why? It's like being matrim l'chatchil on Shabbos. Since the beginning of Shabbos, it was uncovered.
But you're not cooking here. Anything.
Not
Everything cooked.
Everything cooked. By the way, you could do Hatmana. I think last time it wasn't clear. You could do Hatmana in davar she'ini meisav hevel, even if something is not fully cooked. You could also do Hatmana. I don't know why you would do that. I'm saying usually you want it to be cooked.
Where the shiur of Avraham it says, let's say more guests came and you find out that you need to make chunk for Shabbos. It's only 10 minutes to lich bench. It's not enough time to cook the whole chunk. Nevertheless, you cook it at 10 minutes or 15 or whatever you say the time, and most of it will be cooked at Shabbos. You're allowed to do. But if it was way before Shabbos, let's say like an hour before Shabbos, and it wasn't cooked completely, then you should not be real.
Yeah. Only 10-15 minutes you're allowed.
Yeah, but if you did it like an hour before Shabbos and then it wasn't ready almost, then you're not allowed. That's the finish. That's a big finish. Okay, but it's different. We're not holding with this.
Not Be'emes, no, what you're saying, discussing of Be'emes, everyone's asking basically about Shehiyah. It's connected to Shehiyah. This once gave it, I think, one share, I'm sharing about the Shehiyah. What's the difference between Shehiyah and Hatmana? We have to get this clear. What's the difference between Shehiyah and Hatmana? Shehiyah is in Reish Nun Gimel, and Reish Nun Gimel starting there, Reish Nun Gimel, Reish Nun Dalet, and then Hatmana is Reish Nun Zayin. What are these two things, Shehiyah and Hatmana? And in the Gemara you have Bemet Taimdim, and then you have a Perakira. Perakira is about Shehiyah, or at least the beginning of it, and Bemet Taimdim also is about Hatmana. What's the difference between these two things? Shehiyah, Shin, Hey, Yud, Hey. And Hatmana, what are these two things? So, it's very important not to get confused between them two. Shehiyah is putting a pot on the fire and not covering it. Leave it uncovered. That's Shehiyah. What's Hatmana? Hatmana, according to La Halacha, and we'll get to soon the different shittas, but La Halacha, the way we paskin, I can't say for Sfardim, and I'll say in 1 second. Really, La Halacha, according to the Ramah, just to make it clear right now, it means covering it. Right? Covering a pot. These are the two different things. Shehiyah is putting a pot on the fire uncovered, and Hatmana is covering it. That's two different things. So Shehiyah is generally for, usually the way they would do it, they would do Shehiyah, let's say for night meals. And Hatmana is for the next day. They would wrap it up, and Shalom, whatever it was, they wrap it up and just keep hot until the next day. That was usually the two things, Shehiyah and Hatmana. And they have different halachas and the different reasons for so Shehiyah has a reason, because you might come to be mechata the gechalim. You might come to move around the gechalim, the coals, in order to make it work. So we have different ways how to get out of that, how it shouldn't be a problem. Right? Today we use a blech. We put a blech between it, a pach, whatever, is to remind, either different explanations was one of this is the shir. If it reminds you, or it stops you, or you show that you're not interested in.
But today you have no gechalim, you have the flame, and that's it. You don't touch anything.
But the Paiskim say, Rav Shlomo Zalman says that you might put the switch higher. So it's the same chash. The chash is you might make the fire bigger.
In you're allowed to put the flame higher.
You're allowed to
You don't need a blech.
You're not allowed to make it lower.
No, you're not allowed to start the flame, but if the flame is
You're
there,
allowed to make it lower unless it's burning and you need to make it
Lower, I don't know about that.
If you're allowed to make the fire small or not.
Okay, I'm not getting involved in that.
But to make it lower for no reason, you're not allowed.
I don't know.
But the food not to burn, you're allowed.
I don't know.
But that's not the shear now.
Yeah.
Let's go to that one shear.
But so one of the ways is we made a blech. Blech, either you show that you're not interested in it, or it reminds you that not to make the fire higher. Another way is that if it's already cooked, a third or a half, whatever, we take on that you should try to do a half. But the Rebbe says half cooked. So it's anyhow going to be ready for nighttime. So we're not worried you're gonna try to make the fire bigger, because anyhow it's gonna be fire. That is shehiyah. Now then there's another thing, there's a third thing called chazara. Chazara is shehiyah's erev Shabbos, putting on the fire erev Shabbos. Chazara, what's chazara? Chazara is the pots on the fire on Shabbos, and now you want to take it off the fire, and you want to put it back on the fire. That's called chazara. You're putting it back on the fire. That's very often, right? These things happen very often. So, so chazara is you're taking the cholent pot off and you're putting it back because you have someone coming later, right? You want cholent for Shal Shudas, I don't know.
Well, you can take it off. No, you're not supposed to take it off. Once you take it off the blech itself, you can't put it back on.
No, you could.
Why not?
Only you can't, but with certain conditions you could.
Somebody's holding it.
So you have to have.
On the blech, not on the fire.
So you have to have tnoy chazara. You have to have called the conditions of chazara. Tnoy chazara. What are the conditions of chazara? So you have to be holding it in your hand still. You have to have in mind that when you took it off, that you're going to put it back on. And it can't be that it cooled off.
Right.
And
the most important, you have to have the mind. The mind is the key in this chazara.
yeah.
How long can
If
hold?
somebody did not have the
Somebody
mind,
come in an hour.
no,
I hold it for 1 hour?
No,
you
you
take
take
put it
what
back
you
on.
want.
If you had in mind
then you
and
put
you
it back.
held it in your hand and you had in mind to put it back and you held it in your hand.
I think we more machmir with that. I know when we take it from the pot, not like ever put it back.
Okay, so that's the minhag.
But you use the blech? You use the blech?
Yeah.
Or you use the
With the
pot?
blech,
Okay.
Blech?
take the pot out. If you
And once
move it
take
out
it off-
from the blech,
No.
you put it down.
It's fine with them.
Okay, so now
it's cold. That's it.
with this Akdama, I want to start answering these different questions here. You asked if you take out by Hatmana, not by Shehiyah, when you covered something, you covered a chicken pot, right? With towels, out of Shabbos. Now on Shabbos, you want to know.
Double Hatmana, because we have already covered, and you're putting the towel on top of the cover.
Well, it doesn't make a difference how much you add. It doesn't make a difference. We just said you can add as much as you want. So when you you want to know, can I take out from those towels? Can I take out the pots, and then
With the towels right there.
then put the pot back in the towels? I took it out of its place. I picked it up. So there is a machlekes by Hatmana. When you take a pot out, do you have to have also conditions in order to put it back in its place?
Okay.
Right?
conditions of
So
wood.
that you have to have in mind when you took it off that you're going to put it back, and that you have it still in your hand, and that it's still warm, and only then you can put it back. So there's machlekes.
But it's losing The time you're holding it, take
As
it
long
out,
as it's still, the Ramah says that as long as it's not totally cold, so then it's fine. That's what the Ramah says. I don't know, the Mechaber doesn't say that. So, it might have to be.
That's his meaning. Once you cook, you can't do it.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe it's a
Never know. That's interesting. Actually, you keep asking good questions because I don't think how it would be like it's like by right. Now, you asked the question that when I put on regularly, when I take a pot and put it on the fire on the black, so it's Meis of Hevel. It's saying it's Meis of Hevel.
Sure. Now, what's the price that from matter of fact, is that you're allowed to put a pot of raw food on the fire, on the blech, before Shabbos, and then eat it for Shabbos.
Sure, because you have a blech.
But raw.
Raw. That's a blech.
So that's Mois of Hevel already, though.
Now
That's cooking.
Hold on. So that's called shahiyah, right? We said that's called shahiyah. You're not covering it, right?
No, covering it.
Now you're what?
You're covering it.
You're covering the pot?
Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
around?
No, you're with the cover.
Oh, just with the cover?
cover,
No, that's not called covering. Covering means
Take
a towel
around it.
No, usually, no.
No. So you're asking why is that not a problem of Meis of Hevel? Why is that? You understand that's shahiyah, but you want to know why is it not a problem of Hatmana also? Because it's Meis of Hevel. Right?
Yeah, it is Mois of Hevel.
It's Mois of
Fire
Hevel.
itself is Mois of Hevel, even though there's a black in between.
So there's no problem for shahiyah. That's first of all. Why is there no problem with shahiyah? Why am I not? What's the problem with shahiyah? Shahiyah means Erev Shabbos. I'm putting a pot on the fire. Why is there no problem Erev Shabbos? Because that I might come because then on Shabbos I might come to
Move the coals.
because since I have a blech, right? Whatever the reason for blech is, it reminds me not to make the fire higher, or I show that I'm not interested in the fire. Fine. So there's no problem with shahiyah over here, right? There's exedas for Chacham, there's a problem with that shahiyah. So I have no problem now because I have a blech, right? No problem. Now, but you're saying I maybe have a problem with Hatmana over here. Why do I have a problem with Hatmana? You want to say because it's Meis of Hevel from under. The story is like this. The Hatmana, what's the reason why you're not allowed to be matmi? Why are you not allowed to do Hatmana? Let's go back to the reason for it. The reason is because if you're gonna surround in something which is davar Meis of Hevel, you might come to put it in remetz, right? You might come to put it in ash mixed with coals. That's the reason for the gzeira, right? So now,
And then you're gonna
then you mean mechatifa. Okay. Now,
step.
So we have a machlekes in Rishonim, In what way does it have to be similar to remetz in order to be a problem to be matm and davar Meis of Hevel? Which means like this. Is the point that there shouldn't be anything which is Meis of Hevel over there, like you want to say? Just like remetz is something which adds Hevel because it has coals in it, so it adds Hevel. So to also we cannot do anything which is, if we can't put it on even on top of something, just on top of something which is Meis of Hevel, because it's like remetz. Remetz adds heat, right? Remetz adds heat. Or do we say that the only way it's compared to remetz is not, it has to be just like when you do Hatmana by remetz, you don't just put the remetz under. You cover the entire pot in remetz, in this ashes full with coal, mixed with coal. We cover the whole entire thing. So do we say the same thing also? When is there a problem of Hatmana? When the Chachamim say there's a problem of Hatmana is only when the entire pot is surrounded, is covered. But if it's just the bottom, it's Meis of Hevel, doesn't make a difference because it's not similar to remetz. Because remetz is when you. So this is a machlekes between the Mechaber and the Ramah, between the Sfardim and the Ashkenazim.
Elu ve'elu divrei Elokim chayim.
Yeah. So.
No, but you cannot make Ashkenazi and Ashkenazi cannot make Sephardi.
So it's a very interesting question. So now, this is a massive sugya, but according to the Mechaber, even if you just take a pot and put it on top of a blech, which is adding, where the heat's coming up, it should be asur. Because he doesn't need to be covered. Even if you don't cover it, it should still be asur. Because you're not allowed to do Hatmana and something should make it happen. But Payal and Minig's not like that. If you would go according to the Mechaber, if the Sfeidim were actually going according to the Mechaber, let's say those who don't have this Minig, they would have to lift up the pot off the blech in order to do it.
There's some people that have like a thing like this with legs and put it on top of it.
Really? So Sfeidim, right?
Yeah, they have some Minig.
That's why. That's why they do it.
So it's far from the blech.
Right. There has to be a separation, because if it's touching the blech, it's touching something which makes it heavy, like you were saying.
Yeah, but it doesn't keep so warm.
It doesn't matter.
Right. But that's the only way they could do it. That's the only way they could do it. You, Baruch Hashem, have the meaning not like that. So, but the Ramah Paskin, he says that Hatmana is only if it's entirely covered. Just like that, we learn that only then is it considered like remez. So therefore, Ashkenazi, if he wants to put on the fire, he wants to put his pot on the fire, even though under it's the blech is adding heat from under. Right. It's fine, because since it's not entirely covered, it's not compared to remez, therefore it's fine.
My wife put a tin, empty tin, on top of the blech.
That might be
she puts
that's an interesting thing, because even on Shabbos you might be able to put things on it.
Yeah, there are people put a pot, turn over the pot, then take things out of the refrigerator.
Oh, you had a question also.
Warm up, not wet.
Not wet.
Nobody
chicken or something. Top of that.
But the Shia,
Shabbos morning, and then warms it up. It doesn't cook it up.
But you're not allowed to put it under the flame.
No,
Move it out from the flame. That's what we do. The flame is here, you put it here.
Okay, I just want to. You have another.
Put it in. If the blech is hold here and the fire is here and the bed here, and here is not so window.
Have a paper over there? Paper.
Yeah.
That's a big finish.
I just want to finish up because another thing which appeared, so I want to chaperein. I want to chaperein this little thing. Let's continue in the second half of the Hilchos Shabbos. Halacha Ches, the second Aval. Avalim hayatamu b'tchilas knisas haShabbos. Parentheses haShabbos. Halayla. But let's say you have the chicken soup pot. In the beginning of Shabbos, it was covered. You covered it to keep the heat with towels, right? And afterwards, it became uncovered.
Meaning what? Shabbos?
On Shabbos. On Shabbos,
that's why the what Shabbos is.
Okay, I want to discuss that. Exactly what I want to discuss. Let's first say the luck. So afterwards, it became uncovered.
When it's Shabbos already.
When it's Shabbos already, mutter lachzer lachasese. You're allowed to cover it. You're allowed to cover it again. Bein shenskala me'elav, whether it became uncovered by itself. Bein shigilo b'yadayim, whether you uncovered it with your own hands. Even though you didn't have a mind to go and cover it again. And he says, you're allowed to uncover it and recover it again. If you want to add more towels to it, more things which don't add heat, you're allowed to add more. You can take away the whole thing, whatever was there originally, and put different things, like we saw clearly in the Braisa, right? Whether it could be the second one contains the heat more than the first one.
Different material, maybe.
Different material. Even if it was just covered with a little thin sheet on the beginning of Shabbos, so you say, oh, it's not really covered so well. No, there's even a thin sheet that was covered. You can take away the sheet and recover it with glufkrim, which is like coats, which are heavier.
For sure.
No, it's not Meisef Hevel.
Glufkrim, we said before.
It's not Meisef Hevel. It can't be Meisef Hevel because you can't be doing Hatmana and Meisef Hevel on Shabbos. Even out of Shabbos you can't do. It means it's something which is heavier, which keeps the heat in more. But that's something which adds heat.
It's like a heavy coat or something.
I got a present one of these things. I'm going to bring it one time for the show. Show you. It's a beautiful thick piece of material to put in the top of the blech, on the top of the pot. Somebody gave me a present.
What's it made out of?
Huh?
Keep heat.
What's it made of?
Rabbi Yaakov.
Yeah, he keep it. He keep it.
Yeah, but I never saw it. He bought it from Israel.
He made it. He made to keep hot and cold. The same material. Yeah.
Cold is also discussed. You're allowed to put something cold. You're allowed to do on Shabbos. You're allowed to cover something. Maybe we'll talk about next time.
To keep it cold.
In one of the
You're allowed to put it in a refrigerator.
What do you say? What do you find out? Why not put the Shabbos inside?
So now, in the beginning, the first line of the second paragraph, the Rebbe says that if in the beginning, Hilchos Knisas HaShabbos HaLayla, right? Seems like there's a question over here. It's not clear, right? What's the difference between Shabbos and Layla?
It's the same thing. Nishot Shabbat is the Layla.
So Layla, remember, Layla. So Layla is nighttime. When's night? Say it's like a chavah. Shabbos could either mean Shkia. Well, let's even think more than that. Let's say you were Makabel Shabbos early.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So now the suffix is like this. Okay, in Alter Rebbe, in Reish Samach Aleph, Alter Rebbe says like this. In Sif Gimel, that's if you were Makabel Shabbos. After you prior Kibbul of Shabbos, you're ready Makabel Shabbos, but Tfilas Aris, how are you Makabel Shabbos? Either because Tfilas Aris or Shabbos, that's you daven Ma'arid from Shabbos. You should spell early, like a lot of people do, right? Or you answer Baruch Hu together with the Tzibur. Some people see even starting from Mizmer David and Mizmer Shilei Shabbos. People some. Or if most of the community answered Baruch Hu already. I don't know how it works in communities with a lot of different shuls. Probably goes after your shul where you're going to go. But in a place where it doesn't have any other shuls, this is the community, so you have to go after. If most of the tzibur already answered Baruch Hu, even though he didn't answer with them, even though you don't want to accept Shabbos, since if most of the community accept the Shabbos, you have to accept Shabbos. Now you don't have. It is Shabbos for you. So once you were Makabel Shabbos, also leilases ba'atzmei kol shvus, you're not allowed to do it yourself. Any shvus, anything that Rabbanon. Afilo keidem in ashmash, even before shkia. Afilo d'var mitzvah gadol, even for d'var mitzvah gadol kegain lahatmin chamin l'Shabbos. The davar sheini meisav havel. For example, to be matmin chamin Shabbos, something that meisav havel. Afilo ein lei mayicha b'Shabbos, even though you don't have anything else but to eat on Shabbos. So he says that Alter Rebbe clearly says that once you're a Makabel Shabbos, that's it. You cannot anymore.
Even though it's before Shkia.
Even before Shkia.
That's right. Yeah.
Now this is very negea with the woman. We're going to say we're in the Kuntas Achna, one Kuntas Achna over here. Based on the Gemara says they used to blow the shofar in order to stop people from doing work before Shabbos. And they used to blow it 6 times. It says after the 3rd time, it says they would blow it, and all those who had the things on the fire, shehiyah, they would take it off. They would take it off the fire, and all those who were came for time, and those who had to do Hatmana, they did Hatmana then. They hid it, and then afterwards they lit the candles. The bikos hanedes.
We give them a chance for Shehiyah, for Hatmana, for everything.
So it says only afterwards they lit the candles. Why? Because if they first lit the candles, what happens?
You cannot do Shehiyah.
You're Makabel Shabbos. Once you're Makabel Shabbos, right? If you're first matlik the nadis, if a woman lights candles, she's Makabel Shabbos. She can't do Hatmana anymore because she was ready Makabel Shabbos. Even something which not makes it right, even something not makes it you're not allowed to do Hatmana. Practically, it's very practical.
Sure. She forgot to put the chunk on the blech and she
okay, that I understand. But even to cover the chicken soup pot
Once you light the candles.
Once you light the candle, she now let her cover it. Now let her cover it. She has to ask you to do it.
Right.
She can't do it herself.
Because you're allowed to do it.
Yeah, you think, what am I doing? I'm not putting any fire. I'm not doing. Right. Now let her do it anymore. She was Makabel Shabbos. Now let her do it anymore.
And even you, if you Makabel Shabbos before,
if you're Makabel Shabbos, you're also not allowed.
You can have culture.
Fine. So after that's clear,
you're not going to have a colchon. You're only trying to keep it warm. It's on the flame. But if you did it, you Makabel Shabbos already, that's it.
Took it off the flame. Oh, it's the siren went. It's 18 minutes. You run to light the candles. No, and the husband's already in shul, ready by mincha, saying, that's it. You can have a cold soup.
You have little kids in the house, you want to give him some chunk before the mention. To feed him, to eat, and go to sleep. But it's 5 o'clock, an hour before Shabbat. You know, all these things happen before the mention. For some reason.
So now what's out there? I'm saying over here. There's questions like this. Let's say before she lit Shabbos candles, or before you died with Maida. Right, before you Makabel Shabbos, before you light Shabbos candles. Let's say she already covered the pot already. Now, after you covered the pot, before it comes nighttime, it became uncovered.
That's why you had the wood Shabbos.
Now, before it comes, are you allowed, or now, is it considered like, since when I was Makabel Shabbos, it was already covered, so now when it became uncovered, or I uncovered it, now I can cover it again. That's one way of saying it. But Chilas Knisas HaShabbos, that's in the parentheses. Whether Shkia or whenever you were Makabel Shabbos, or Halayla says like a Chavim, or we say I don't care that you accepted Shabbos early, and that you're not allowed to do Hatmana. I can only use that for a Chumrah that you're not allowed after your Makabel Shabbos, that you now are not allowed to cover it. But you can't use a Lakula to come and say that since it was covered when I was Makabel Shabbos, so now I could recover it even though it's before Shabbos, even though it was uncovered. No, I'm saying it. Yeah, I can't do that. So that's the question of the thing. It's not good there. So I saw.
And the Chumrah would be.
The Chumrah.
I want to be the Chumrah.
No, so the Chumrah. Passion, I'm saying if you want to take L'chumrah, Mishnah Bruder seems to be taking L'chumrah. Over here it's not clear, it's a suffix. Right. So L'chumrah would seem to be that it would have to be covered when it comes says, but then I would be able to take it off and put it back on. But if it was covered only from when I was Makabel Shabbos, it's not going to be enough. Now here it's a suffix. After that it's a suffix. I don't know. Maybe there's some Rabbanim which pass can I'm saying. You have to.
In other words, the problem would be if someone did this between Sete Koshabim and Leaf Benching, and this time.
Right.
That's the
right.
problem. Not after.
Right. Yeah.
What's